G'day legends, and thanks for tuning in. This week's video, I get back into the wife's hardtop and get on top of the AC system and the cooling system once and for all. So do yourself a favour, grab your frothy coffee, kick back, relax, and enjoy the video. Alrighty legends, so like I mentioned to you in the last video when I fixed the overheat on this thing, I wanted to remove the condenser from in front of the radiator and do a remote mount setup, which I've now got. So I've got to pull this thing apart today. I've sort of already studied location for this thing. I haven't mounted it yet, but it is sitting in position, so yeah, you can't really see a whole lot there, but that's a nice big juicy thick condenser with a fan on it. I'll pull it out later on and show you, but yeah, that's sat up in there. So now basically I've got to go ahead, repeat what I did the other day. I've got to rip the radiator out, but then I've got to I think I've got to pull the grill, pull the old condenser. The thing's already had the gas sucked out of it, so it's good to go with that. So strip the old condenser out, mount the new remote mount condenser, and then yeah, we've got to work out the lines and everything else. So let's get this thing apart, eh? Yeah, I just thought I'd show you all the condenser and sort of what it takes up in front of the radiator. So I matched this condenser to fit the entire space sort of that was available, so it takes up the whole room. So every bit of air that the radiator gets has to go through this, and you can see sort of how tight the core is, like all the fins are. So, and this is a really efficient condenser, so a lot of heat coming off it. So yes, that's a brand new Recore 3-row radiator, but it's all getting whatever air it's getting through that, and it's all hot. So I'm just removing all the possibilities for this thing to sort of overheat anymore. I just don't want it to even be close to it. So that's the reason. I went ahead and popped the grill out there before. Yeah, and this is the front side set up. So I'll get in, get this thing apart. Yeah, get the radiator back in it, and then we'll move on to mounting the remote condenser, eh? Rightio legends, so I've had a bit of a play around here and actually had a bit of a massive win. I'm not going to have to make any new hoses, so the hose from the dryer to the condenser and from the compressor to the condenser, we've actually made them work. They're long enough, the right orientation, just had to run them a little bit differently. Probably can't see a whole lot under here. The condenser's not mounted yet anyway, but the condenser is under there, and yeah, the hoses are fitted to it, the wiring's hooked up. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to drive the hardtop down the shed, the access to the welder, and then yeah, I've got some flat bar. Going to make some brackets to retain the condenser. In the interim, obviously I've got to put the radiator back in it to make that happen. So slam the radiator back in this thing, fill it up, drive down the shed, make these brackets. Then yeah, I've got an appointment in town to get this thing back down and put some gas in it. So radiator and condenser brackets, eh? Rightio legends, so we got the Valiant in the shed, well in the front of the shed there now. I've got this bit of flat bar. I've already sort of put a couple of bends in it, marked it where I think the rough length's going to be. So gonna go ahead, drill some holes in it, cut it to length, see if that mounts the bottom up alright. If it does, I'll get them welded in, then make the top man now. So drill some holes and cut some steel. Rightio, so got that condenser mounted, like again, not that you can see a whole lot, but you can see there's little brackets there coming off the original stabilizer for the mudguard. Fan works, everything's mounted, so yeah, big victory, really happy with that. I'm gonna sneak into town now to get this thing back down and gassed up, so with all fingers crossed. Yeah, I'll see how it goes on the way into town without the condenser in now. Hopefully it sort of remains really cold on the way in, and then yeah, after it's gassed up, see what it looks like when it's running. You know, all it's going to add is the load of the compressor to generate more heat. It's not going to have the condenser in front of the radiator no more, so I'm really hoping yeah, we have some more big wins. So I'm going to head up, have a shower, take this thing to town, hopefully have some wins though. Rightio legends, so we've been on the road for about 15-20 minutes now. Obviously no aircon because it's not juiced up yet, but we haven't even got to the T yet. Sitting on, yeah, 166, 167 Fahrenheit, so looking good so far. It sort of doesn't, yeah, stay that cold for this long, so it's obviously doing something. So hopefully, yeah, pull up, get this thing back down and charged up and see how she performs with the aircon, eh? Rightio legends, so just left the aircon place there. Yeah, we backed it down, stuck a charge in it. The thing stayed cool, sitting there idling while we put aircon in it. Got the temp down, it's not too bad. That remote condenser could be a bit more efficient, but it is what it is. I'd rather the AC be a bit more marginal than the cooling system itself. So while it's driving, I think the aircon's going to be fine. It's just when it's sort of stopped where the vent temp might get a bit hot, but cruising now, it's absolutely lovely. Like, we got it down about 7 degrees sitting there before, so that's good if we can keep that up. The temp, like, I'm 10 minutes, 15 minutes from leaving there, and the temp, it's back on T. Every time I pull up, it climbs a couple of degrees. Once I get going, it goes back down. So I'm calling this an absolute win. The missus is going to love it. We're not having to worry about this thing getting hot anymore, which is what I wanted. I just wanted to make it so that's not even a thought anymore. We can just drive it middle of summer like it is now and not have any dramas with it, with the aircon working, so we're not melting. So yeah, I'm absolutely stoked. What I thought would fix it did, so I don't anticipate having any other dramas with it. Yeah, so we're just going to enjoy it now. Like, there's a few other bits and bobs to do on them, but we can take this thing for a drive now, not having to worry about it overheat. So absolutely stoked. As always, legends, if you like what you see, do us a favour, like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.